Festival in New York City.
The Russian Nights Festival celebrates the many facets of Russian culture and art. It has already enjoyed great success in its 2 visits to Los Angeles, and now for the first time, Russian Nights comes to New York.
For
the city of New York, this brings a lot. This festival does not only bring classical Russian culture, but also non-classical.
The festival presents the world community with the very best in both old and new culture in Russia.
It's a poetry, it's a literature, it's serious music, it's also jazz, it's also rock. Also, we brought greatest legendary poet, Voznesenskiy.
I love Harlem, I truly do. I live in Harlem, and I like to shop at 125th Street.
I'm standing next to Sarah Cedar-Miller. Sarah, what is your involvement with Central Park?
I am the official historian and photographer for the Central Park Conservancy.
And how long have you been involved with it?
Exactly 20 years.
20 years?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's the greatest job in New York City.
What can you tell us about this spot? How has it changed? How has it been improved since 1993 when it was first built?
In the 1970s, this place was horrible. Most people remember that it had a bad reputation. And New Yorkers decided to take back their park, and under the leadership of Betsy Barlow Rogers, who founded the Central Park Conservancy with many other civic leaders and Mayor Ed Koch, Parks Commissioner Gordon Davis, they all got together, and now 85% of all of Central Park's $20 million a year upkeep is raised privately by people like you and me, corporations, foundations. This part of the park is so beautiful, and of course it's really important as the gateway to Harlem.
And how did you get involved in this?
Well, my passion is both the history of the park, learning about it. I recently wrote a book called Central Park's an American Masterpiece, and it talks about the history of the park and also the photographs I've taken for the Central Park Conservancy over the past 20 years.
Well, thank you, Sarah, so much for your time.
My pleasure.
And now we're going to hop over and say hi to Shirley as she interviews La Bruja, who is a deaf poetry jam performer at Jake's Saloon.
Sit back and lighten your load. It's about to get into poetry mode. This is La Bruja, and this is Cool in Your Cold.
Hey, I'm Shirley, bringing you the local flavor. I'm sitting here in Jake's Saloon, zip code 10029, and I couldn't be more happier to interview poet, artist, and performer La Bruja. Known for her mesmerizing poetry and characterizations, she's also appeared on Russell Simmons' Deaf Poetry Jam. Welcome to Cool in Your Code.
Hi.
Did you always know you wanted to be a poet?
I guess yes, because my great-grandmother was the poet, and she used to teach me poetry when I was 3 years old, 4 years old. Wow. And I would perform it every Christmas and Thanksgiving. We would get in the living room, you know, and I would recite.
La Bruja, why the name? If you want to explain what it means for those out there who don't know.
Well, La Bruja means the witch. You know, it means the witch in Spanish. But my name, my real name is Caridad de la Luz, and that means charity of the light. So I consider myself Charity, the witch of the light.
Now, on Thursday night, you host the open mic poetry.
That's right here.
Thing right here at Jake's Saloon. Now, why in Harlem?
Spanish Harlem is, you know, a direct connection of the Boricua culture, you know.
Absolutely.
El Barrio. De la Vega is here. You know, you could find his murals all around. You have the Museo del Barrio.
If it's not too much trouble, I would love it if you could perform.
You know, because I'm shy.
I'm sure you're so shy. She's so shy.
By the light of the moon, dusty roads we would walk as coquis sang their songs, pulling strings in my heart. Guayabas, quenepas, bombas y plenas, drinking café, wearing chancletas, in the kitchen with abuela, hoping that times will get more better.
Thank you, Mommy. Thank you so much. Take it. That's some love from La Bruja on Cool in Your Code.
Right now, we're in front of the Riverside Church, which was built in 1927.
It was modeled after a 13th century Gothic cathedral in France.
Man, Harlem is one cool code.
Yeah, but actually it's several codes. But you're right, it remains one of the most culturally significant neighborhoods in all of Manhattan.
That's true. And if you got something cool going on in your code, feel free to let us know about it. Just log on to coolinyourcode.com.
Because you never know. Your code might be next.
On the next Cool in Your Code.
Cool in Your Code has been brought to you by the Bank of New York. New Yorkers since 1784.
Oh, selg.